Welcome to Season 2 of the Complete AI Guide, your commute-friendly podcast and video brought to you by GeorgeABMatthew.com. You can get to us wherever you get your podcasts, and now we are on YouTube as well. I'm George Matthew, and today we have Ian Cook. Ian isn't just a technologist. He spent over 15 years architecting and deploying AI systems that actually solve business problems, from radically streamlining insurance processes to reshaping how companies predict cultural preferences. As Senior Vice President of AI at Clue, he's built and scaled AI for Fortune 500 companies, government agencies, and small teams. So he's uniquely positioned to have this conversation with us today on the challenges and the possibilities specifically for small and medium-sized businesses. Ian, welcome to the Complete AI Guide podcast and video.
Terrific to be here, George. Thank you so much. Thank you for the wonderful intro and going through all of that. I feel like I can be done now. Like people can just listen to that and be impressed.
I just want to open up by asking, and I know you've been following up on the Department of Defense reaction to Anthropic's demand for transparency and how its tools are used for military purposes. It seems, for those of us who are on the outside looking in, that OpenAI compromised on those principles to safeguard commercial interest. Do you have a view on that?
Oh, I absolutely do. I think it's almost malpractice these days to be an AI and not have an opinion on this. And I am 100% behind you. OpenAI absolutely compromised. This is a critical point in our evolution of using these tools. And even, if I don't think Anthropic is always the best, this stance that they're taking is critically important. I am really happy that they're doing it. I'm looking forward to this kind of confrontation. I think OpenAI is suffering the problems of their own excess. They've gone through all these circular deals. They're going to invest however many hundreds of billions in data centers. They're going to invest however many hundreds of billions in buying chips, but then NVIDIA is going to put billions and billions into them, and it just goes around and around. And the only way to support this, I guess the numbers are like $850 billion IPO they're targeting this year, is to make it very clear to every investor that they are not willing to give up a single dollar of revenue. And Anthropic's taken on the white hat here. It's saying, that's not us. We don't care about the money. We care about how this tool is being used. And they've drawn a really big hard line in the sand. And I think that is absolutely brilliant. And I'm really happy for them. Happy that they're doing it. Maybe it's tough for them because of the cash and all of it. I'm sure they'd rather be doing or talking about other things at this point.
Everyone is talking about AGI,
right.
Artificial intelligence that think like humans and then have the potential to take over human tasks and responsibility. Mm-hmm. You have called that BS. Why should a business owner ignore the AGI conversation entirely?
They really can put it out of their minds. This is all hype to justify incredibly high valuations. What's going to happen is one of these companies is simply going to walk out one day and declare, we've passed AGI, we were the first, and money is going to flow at them. And it's going to mean nothing. The problem with AGI is it has no real definition, and the closest people have gotten to having a definition is, well, it beats humans or it matches humans on almost all things that humans do that are intelligence tasks. We haven't talked about emotional intelligence, social intelligence. We don't talk about the fact that the definition of human intelligence is still unsettled. It is not a clear, crisp definition that anybody has or uses. This is focused very heavily on a task-based thing. If I give it a task, can it do the task as well as the average human I give the task to? But it's not as good at learning problems in new spaces as quickly, the ability to jump from one arena to the next and apply that information without an exceptional amount of training and failure at first and all of those things. Nothing is going to change in this technology when we get to the point where somebody says, now we've hit AGI. There is almost zero value to it, except for those companies that claim that they will get to it. This is a transformative technology. Like, don't get me wrong. I spend all day working with it. I love this stuff. This is a unbelievably powerful technology. But if people are coming at you and saying AGI is coming, it's going to take everybody's jobs, we're going to have, what is a current phrase, like an age of plenty where nobody has to work and everything's just sitting around and we're going to solve cancer. I don't want to disillusion anyone, but find the things that can answer that can help you sooner than that. Because what's not going to happen is somebody's going to type into ChatGPT 7.2.4.6 dash whatever and go, how do I solve cancer? And then just get an answer, right? Curing cancer is going to be the work of thousands and thousands of people at benches with pipettes, running tests, collecting data, working with humans that are suffering, trying to figure out how to do this. ChatGPT, Anthropic, Gemini are going to be huge helps in processing data and thinking through these experiments and understanding the implications. And things like Google DeepMind and AlphaFold, there's going to be terrific support for that. But that's not going to cure cancer simply as an outgrowth of hitting the next dot release on some model somewhere.
Yeah, I completely agree and align with that thinking that technology is not the prime. I mean, it could be a significant prime mover or driver for the changes that we want to see, but then the operating environment and the operating model around it in terms of how do you impact change and how do you impact adoption, how do you impact business value, how do you change processes in such a way that it benefits humans, all of that becomes key. But then if you look at the narrative in the public space, in fact, I wrote about it recently, about the fear in the public space about the fear mongering around job losses, about white collar jobs going away by half. Someone even was quoted as saying that the whole purpose of studying medicine or law is no longer relevant. Now,
sorry, it's not laughable. You're right. And this is one of the reasons I'm so glad to be chatting with you. Although I suppose if your listeners really want like a knockdown fight, I'm not going to give you that because I think you're right. This is fear mongering. This is just hype to try to build up a valuation. No, like you're not getting rid of the need for medical training or legal training. We have calculators, but nobody stopped learning math.
They're absolutely right. Absolutely right. And you also work with organizations, a range of organizations from startups to, defense, government. What are some of the mistakes that you see small and medium businesses make when it comes to first trying to adopt AI?
Biting off too much. There is, and this I think is an outgrowth of almost the fear mongering, is that, oh my goodness, if you're not, on the